Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles at Memorial Stadium. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Morris, whose record is 9-5 with a 3.81 ERA. And on the mound for the Orioles is Mike Boddicker, who's making his major league debut. So we had an off day yesterday after losing 2 of 3 to the Rangers. When I advanced to the next day, there was a trade. Just to point it out, Seattle traded its right fielder, Leon Roberts, to Philadelphia for a couple of minor leaguers. So that was the one big transaction, other than us losing our center fielder for the rest of the season. So Barry Bonnell went down with a broken hip, and he is done for the season. And now we have to make it up as we go along. So next man up for us, I suppose. So this is the last series before the All-Star break, and of course we're playing the Orioles. And so we need to do well in this series in order to stay in contention. We're 3.5 games back, and the way we've been playing, we can't afford to lose 2 of 3. We do have one more series this season against the Orioles, and we have no more games against the Yankees. So it's going to be important for us to make up some ground here heading into the All-Star game. The only other thing of note that I wanted to mention was Lou Whitaker is still on a hitting streak. He's at 12 games and has been pretty much the only bright spot for us. So we're going to count on him to lead off the game and help us put up some runs today. The good news is we have Jack Morris on the mound today. His record is 9-5 with a 3.81 ERA. He's our ace, and he's been pitching really good in his last 6 starts. He's won 5 of them, and the one that he lost was a hard luck loss. So we have our 1, 2, and 3 starters going this series. All of our bullpen is available. They've been struggling lately, especially our closer, Aurelio Lopez. So, hopefully we won't need to go to the bullpen with Morris. And then here's our lineup now with our updated defensive alignment. So we're going to put Bob Bailor in center field. I picked him up from Toronto with the idea that he would play as a 4th outfielder. But now I'm glad that I picked him up, because we're going to put him in center field, and Hancock can remain in right. And actually, Bob Bailor's batting .309. He's got 19 stolen bases on the year. So hopefully we can make that transition. And then Rick Peters was the minor leaguer that we called back up to the majors. So we're going to go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Tigers here. I'll show you the stats, and then over here you'll see their 1980 Topps baseball card. So leading off for the Tigers is Sweet Lou Whitaker. There's his batting streak, as I mentioned earlier, and there's his season stats. Batting second and playing shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting cleanup and catching today is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth and in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting sixth and DHing today is Carlton Fisk. Batting seventh and playing third base is Richie Hebner. Batting eighth and at first base is Jason Thompson. And batting ninth and in center field is Bob Bailor. And on the mound for the Orioles is Mike Boddicker. He's making his major league debut. Mike Boddicker finished third in the Rookie of the Year in 1983. And in 1984, he won 20 games. So he had a very long career, pitched until he was 35, and he won a game in the World Series for Baltimore in 1983 as a rookie. So Good pitcher. And Whitaker hits a ground ball to short, and Whitaker is safe at first on the error by the shortstop, Dave Concepcion. So it's going to bring up Trammell. Nobody out. And Boddicker walks Trammell. So first and second, nobody out for Gary Hancock. And Hancock grounds it to first. And they turn the double play. A 3-4-3 double play. I'm sorry, a 3-6-1 double play. And Whitaker advances to third base. So it's going to be up to Parrish to drive in that run. And he grounds it to first. And that will be the third out. So couldn't get on the board. Score is 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. And we'll do the Orioles lineup rundown. Beginning with Glenn Borgman batting leadoff and catching today. And batting second and in center field is Al Bumbry. Batting third and at first base is Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. Batting cleanup and in left field is Jeff Burrows. Batting fifth and DHing today is Gary Renicky. Batting sixth and at third is Doug DeCinces. Batting seventh and in right field is Kenny Singleton. Batting eighth and at second base is Phil Gardner. And batting ninth and at shortstop is Doug Concepcion. Okay, so here's Glenn Borgman. Jack Morris is on the mound. And Borgman's going to hit a fly ball to center field. Here's Jack Morris's stats. As I mentioned, this is his 18th start. 9-5 record. 273 opponent's batting average. He does have a complete game this year. So one down. Here's Al Bumbry. Bumbry's going to get a base hit up the middle. And that will bring up Eddie Murray with one down. Murray is 2 for 8 with a strikeout against Morris this year. Murray grounds it to Hebner at third, and they go to first to get the out. Bumbry advances to second base. So 2 down for Jeff Burrows. He's 0 for 7 with a walk against Morris, and he flips a base hit to center field. Bumbry scores, and just like that, the Orioles are ahead, 1-0. So 2 down, Burrows at first for Gary Renicky, and Renicky hits one right back up the middle. So that's 3 hits to center field. That's our weak spot in the outfield, even with Bailor out there. So hopefully this is not the sign of things to come, as there's 2 outs with Doug DeCinces. Nope, DeCinces going to get a base hit to left field. Second run will score. Renicky goes to third, and it's 2-0. And we're already at the number 7 hitter, Kenny Singleton. Morris walks Singleton, and the bases are loaded. Morris has already 27 pitches, 4 hits against him, and we're not even out of the first. So bases loaded for Phil Gardner, who's 0 for 5 with a walk, and he grounds it to short. Trammell has it, and that's the third out. So terrible start as we're down 2-0 against a rookie making his major league debut. And that means he's probably going to pitch a shutout as Kemp grounds it to third for the first out of the second inning. So here's Carlton Fisk, who's struggling mightily. He's only batting .217 for Detroit as he grounds it to second, and the second baseman, Phil Gardner, boots it. And that's a second error already for the Orioles. So 1 down, Fisk is at first base. Here's Richie Hebner. Hebner pulls it to first, right on the bag, and that'll be another double play. So first 2 innings, the Orioles have turned double plays after their errors. And we head to the bottom of the second. Here is Dave Concepcion, the number 9 hitter, leading off, and what do you know, a base hit right back up the middle. So that's the 5th hit against Morris. He's sitting at 35 pitches, and we're back to the top of the lineup. Glenn Borgman grounds it to short, and Trammell turns 2. And so we have 2 down for Al Bunbury. And Bunbury hits it to left field on a line, and Kemp has it for the 3rd out. So you can see defensively when someone quality goes down and you have to put a below average defender out there, just how quickly that can affect your team. As Jason Thompson walks, that's his second walk for Mike Boddicker today. So number 9 hitter Bob Bailor, like I mentioned, he's filling in for the injured Barry Bonnell. Bailor grounds it back to Boddicker. Boddicker did win a Gold Glove late in his career at age 33 for the Kansas City Royals. And he gets the lead runner at second. So 1 down, Bob Bailor's at first. Sweet Lou back to the top of the lineup, and Lou pops it up. And it's in foul ground. The catcher has it for the 2nd out. So 2 down. Bob Bailor's still at first. We're going to attempt to steal. Bailor does have 19 stolen bases on the year. All of them but 1 were with Toronto. And he gets his 20th stolen base. So runner in scoring position for Tram. And there you go. Tram gets a base hit to center. That should score the run easily. It does, and they want to know if we want to go for 2, and I'm going to say no. So we're on the board. Being aggressive with Bailor put us in a position to get at least 1 run. So the Trammell at first base with Gary Hancock coming up, and Hancock's going to pop it up just past the mound to shortstop, and that is the 3rd out. So score is 2-1. The only hit from Detroit is by Trammell. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray gets a base hit to left field just past Hebner. And he gets a double out of that. So already a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 3rd. Burrows comes to the plate, and Burrows jacks it into the left center field bleachers. And it's 4-1. So nobody out. Morris definitely not on his game today. And he's given up 8 base runners, 7 hits and 1 walk. And we're not even through 3 as Gary Renicky pops it up to Trammell. So 1 down. Doug DeCinces grounds it to first for the 2nd out. And so Kenny Singleton comes to the plate with 2 down, and he strikes out. Morris had 10 strikeouts in his last start, and that's his first K of the game. So we head to the top of the 4th. Score is 4-1. That home run was the 11th for Jeff Burrows in the season, as Parrish flies out to center field. So 1 down here in the top of the 4th for Steve Kemp, who I moved down to the 5th spot in this game as I had to shuffle the lineup to replace Barry Bonnell, who was leading the team with 13 home runs. Kemp grounds to second, so that's the 2nd out, and quickly Fisk flies out to left for the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 inning for the rookie Boddicker, who we can only manage 1 hit against, apparently. And so the bottom of the 4th with Phil Garner striking out. So it's back-to-back strikeouts for Morris. 1 out for number 9 hitter Dave Concepcion. He grounds it to Trammell, and that's the 2nd out. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Glenn Borgman. 2 down, and Borgman hits a high fly ball to right field. And that's the 3rd out. So a much-needed 1-2-3 inning for Morris. Give our Tigers a chance to get back in this game. Richie Hebner is going to lead off the top of the 5th. He lines out to center. So 1 down for JT. Thompson walked in his first at bat. He strikes out here looking. So 2 down. Here's Bob Bailor. Bailor grounds it to short. And another 1-2-3 inning for the rookie. So we head to the bottom of the fifth. Score still 4-1. Tigers have nothing going on as Bunbury lines out to left to lead off the fifth inning. And here's Eddie Murray, who's 3 for 10 against Morris. He grounds it to Trammell. 2 down. And that will bring up Jeff Burrows, who had the big bomb earlier. And he strikes out swinging. So Morris has 3 strikeouts now. He's put together back-to-back zeros on the board, so maybe he's turning it around. And we're at the top of the lineup. I'm going to switch over to the in-game stats. Not much to look at on the Tigers side. And Sweet Lou will lead off the 6th, and he hits it right back to Boddicker. And that's 1 out. So keep in mind, Whitaker has a 12-game hitting streak going on as Trammell gets another hit. That's the second of the game. And I'm going to say no. Well, you know what? I'm going to say yes. Because Bunbury does not have a great arm. And Trammell's speed is average. 50-50 shot. I mean, we're going to say yes. And it's no, as Trammell's thrown out second. So 2 down for Gary Hancock. And Hancock hits it right back to Concepcion at short, and that is the end of the inning. So Morris is at 83 pitches. He's got at least one more good inning in him, as Reddick leads off by striking out looking. So it's 4 Ks for Morris. Here's Doug DeCinces. He walks. And 1 down for Kenny Singleton. He's a double play candidate as he strikes out swinging. And Morris seems to have found his strikeout pitch, which is the slider. And there we go. Strikes out Phil Gardner on a fastball. So 6 strikeouts for Morris. We head to the top of the 7th. Only 2 hits against Boddicker, making his major league debut. Both hits are by Trammell. And Parrish watches the changeup go by for the 3rd strike. So 1 down for Steve Kemp. Kemp walks. And with a runner at first, here's Carlton Fisk. I don't even know what to do about Fisk anymore. He just, there you go, grounding it to second base. He can't even hit the ball to the outfield. He does beat out the potential double play. He's safe at first. And here's Richie Hebner. And Hebner hits a long fly ball to center. That's going to fall short of the warning track for the 3rd out. So Morris is over 100 pitches. And we're going to give him an opportunity to pitch through 7 and to fix his ERA. Another strikeout. Where was this in the first 3 innings? That's 7 Ks for Morris. Back to the top of the lineup with Glenn Borgman. He's 1 for 9 against Morris. He walks him here. So, runner at first. Al Bunbury's up to the plate. And Bunbury gets a base hit to center. So I was thinking I should have taken him out with a lefty up. But now we may as well let him face Eddie Murray. We're going to bring the infield in. Murray's only batting .248 overall versus Morris. But he does have 3 hits against him this year. And Murray grounds it to Trammell. Trammell goes home to get the lead runner. So we keep the score to 4-1. It's 2 down now for Jeff Burrows, who took Morris deep in the 3rd inning. And there's a base hit to left field. Bunbury does score, and that makes the score 5-1. So this will be the last batter for Morris as Renicky comes to the plate. Renicky's 1 for 3 against Morris. And wow, Renicky just shoots it into right field bleachers for a 3-run home run. And I left Morris in one batter too long. So Morris comes out, his ERA ballooned to 4.19. And this game is pretty much over. So we're going to bring in our long reliever and cleanup guy, Tom Hume. And 2 down still. Here's Doug DeCinces. And Hume walks DeCinces. So we are getting moguled right now. It's all Baltimore, and we can't do anything right. As Kenny Singleton gets a base hit to right field. 2 down for Phil Garner. And Hume walks the bases loaded. So just like that, after a 3-run home run, DeCinces walks, Singleton singles, and Phil Garner walks. And now the number 9 batter has the bases loaded. That's Dave Concepcion. And he hits a lazy fly ball to left. Kemp has it for the 3rd out. And we're going to have to figure out something with this team. I don't know exactly what to do. We don't have anybody in the minors that we can bring up. As GT lines it off the left field wall for a double. He's the only Tiger not named Trammell to get a base hit today. And then we'll bring up Bob Bailor. Bailor grounds it just past the second base bag, and he's out at first. Thompson holds. So 1 down. Here's Sweet Lou, still looking for that base hit. He's not going to get it today, it looks like, as he grounds it to first. And Thompson advances to third. So here's Trammell, the only Tigers doing anything today. He pounds it right into the ground back to Boddicker, and they go to first to get the 3rd out. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. Glenn Borgman leads off the inning against Hume. And he hits a high fly ball in the center field. That might get down. It does. And there's the 12th hit for the Orioles today. And that's it for Hume. He pitched to 5 hitters. He got 1 out. So a useless performance. We're going to bring in Capizzello. He's our left-handed clean setup guy. Here's his numbers. Looking pretty good. 20th appearance. 1.69 ERA. Opponents are batting .244 against him. And he has had a couple rough outings as I try to have him throw against some righties, which hasn't worked out well as he gets the lefty Al Bumbry out on a fly ball to left. So 1 down. Here's Eddie Murray. He strikes out swinging. And now we have a bunch of righties coming up. And I'm not going to risk it. Burrows is batting .329 versus lefties, so we're taking him out. We're going to bring in Dave Tobick. Tobick's got a 2.98 ERA. This is his 44th game already, as we're not even to the All-Star break. Opponents are batting .250 against him. So here's Jeff Burrows. Burrows actually has a home run against Tobick earlier this year, and he laces a fly ball, line drive actually, to center field. And that's another hit. So first and second for Renicky. Renicky has a home run against Tobick. Oh yeah, this was the back-to-back-to-back home runs in the 9th, now that it's coming back to me. That was right. The score was tied at 1 in the top of the 9th when the Orioles came to the plate and got back-to-back home runs in the top of the 9th, which gave them a 4-1 lead, and then Tippy Martinez came in and struck out the side. So, I mean, it just kicked dirt in our face. So bottom of the 9th, this is it for the Tigers. Mike Boddicker in his Major League debut has been damn near perfect, as Hancock leads off the inning with the base hit. And no, we're not going to try for a double. It's only 30%, and our luck is terrible. So here's Parrish with 1 down. 0 for 3 today. And he strikes out. That's his second strikeout, 3 overall for Boddicker. And so Steve Kemp comes up. Steve Kemp is definitely a double play candidate as he grounds it to first, and that should be too. Yep. So a terrible game, absolutely the worst possible scenario. As we lose 8-1, let's take a look at the transactions. There's nothing of note today, so we'll go back to the calendar here, and we'll pull up the box score. We lose 8-1, and I hate to be pessimistic this early in the season, but right now we can't seem to get hits or good pitching performances. As we take a look at it here, I mean, may as well give Trammell the player of the game. He did have 2 hits. He had the RBI. JT got the double. Good for him. Morris, I left him in too long. That's my bad as a manager. He gets a loss, 9-6. Mike Boddicker, 1-0 with a complete game in his very first start. So good job by him. That's it. We'll come back tomorrow with the second game of the series. And until then, everyone.